Hello boys and girls! Today's featured video is brought to you by OCD, because some movie reviewers have to review every single movie they see, no matter how late it is. Hello everybody, welcome to MaffmanJones Movie Reviews. I'm your host John Maffio, and today's video, I'm not reviewing one movie, not two, not three, but 4 movies. And these 4 movies are movies that I saw over the course of the last few months, but I forgot to make videos for because I became complacent and stupid. They include Chef, 22 Jump Street, Edge of Tomorrow, or now as it's called via Blu-ray, Live, Die, Repeat. It's kind of weird. Oh yeah, and Snowpiercer. 3 movies out of the 4 that I listed are movies that weren't really recognized by the majority of audiences this summer, and that's why I wanted to review them to get them some recognition if you haven't seen them already, guys. And then 22 Jump Street was the comedy of the year, at least in my opinion so far, besides the Lego Movie. But I think that's more of a family film than a comedy, even though it was quite hilarious too. Let's get right into it with 22 Jump Street. It was the sequel to 21 Jump Street that released in March of 2012. It starred Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill. It was reaped with failure from a lot of people anticipating it, and then it came out and then people really liked it and it became a big hit, and now it's a cultural phenomenon, this franchise of sorts. Except this movie kind of killed the idea of it becoming a franchise comedy-wise because of its ending, which I won't get into because this is spoiler-free. But this film does play on the fact that 23, 24, 25, 26 Jump Street and so on and so forth can't happen, at least not for the imminent future. This movie I thought was really funny. Was it as funny as the original? No, but the jokes were very clever, the writing was incredible, the chemistry between Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum was just as remarkable as it was in the first movie, if not more so in this one because they are more comfortable with each other. And you can tell they're best friends in real life, because they really are really good friends in real life. And the side characters are just as good. Ice Cube is great, and Ice Cube has 2 scenes in this movie, and he steals them in such great ways. But you have to see the movie to find out what I'm talking about. But I haven't laughed so hard in the theater from his scenes alone. The movie, plot-wise and structure-wise, is also essentially the same exact movie, but it's done on purpose. And if you realize that, the jokes are even funnier than they already are. But overall, I'd say that 22 Jump Street is a fun comedy that's not as good as its original predecessor, but it's definitely a fun time if you enjoyed the first one, and if you enjoy the actors in the movie, you'll definitely have a fun time. Bring your friends, girlfriend, boyfriend, bring anybody, because you're definitely gonna laugh. The next movie on my list is Chef, which was directed by Jon Favreau, who also directed Zathura, he directed Iron Man, he directed Elf. He's directed a lot of really good movies in the past. Zathura is underrated. This one stars himself, along with many other actors who sprinkled themselves in the film, including Robert Downey Jr. and Dustin Hoffman, to name a couple. But the story is basically about a down-on-his-luck chef who works under the control of Dustin Hoffman, who is his former boss, and he wants to do what he wants with his food, but his boss doesn't allow him to. He limits his creative freedom. So this chef gets fired after getting a bad review from a critic, so that he goes off with his son, who he's lost connection with and touch with. This movie is basically a coming-of-age road trip film about this chef who has to rekindle his relationship with his son while also creating his own expansive restaurant, which happens to be a van for most of the movie. And his wife is Sofia Vergara, which is incredible. And also the music in this movie is incredible. The music is really good and it really sets the atmosphere for the movie because it's about food. Which, speaking of, this movie is one of the only movies I've ever seen in my life that's about food that has made me hungry immediately after for food. The food that Jon Favreau, which I actually believe he actually cooks in this movie, which if he doesn't, then they really sell it, props. It's definitely foreign, but it looks so freaking good. But aside from the food looking tasty and the music being good, the actual film is very sweet and charming and touching. And, you know, it's a little sweet little movie that people who don't know about it will watch one day and just be like, wow, that was a surprise. A very pleasant surprise. It does not overstay its welcome. It gets what it has to get done from beginning to end. There's a character arc for this chef character and it feels natural. And it's also one big allegory for Jon Favreau's relationship with Marvel Studios, in my opinion, because of Iron Man 2. Look that up on Google, kids. Next is Edge of Tomorrow, or apparently now it's called Live, Die, or Repeat, as I mentioned before, on the DVD Blu-ray cover. What the fuck are they doing? This one stars Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt. This is the movie, which is actually pretty original, and that's what it's been getting lately. It's kind of original, even though it's influenced by many other films before it. It's about Tom Cruise's character, who's a cowardly military leader, and he's thrown into battle, and he's really scared of death and battle and war. And he is killed by an alien in this war, which is very reminiscent of D-Day. And when he's killed, the alien that kills him sprays blood on him, and that allows him to have the ability to regenerate life over and over and over again. And he uses this ability to find out how to defeat these indestructible aliens with the help of the badass warrior of this war, Emily Blunt's character. It's a journey for these two characters who meet each other and develop a relationship and try to find a way to destroy and end this war. People have been talking about how it's one of the favorites of the year, and I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites, but when I watched it, I highly enjoyed its originality, its cleverness in terms of action and jokes. The actual aliens, design-wise, are really cool. They remind me of something out of like a crazy video game that I've played. Mass Effect is one of them. Halo's another one. But like the way they move and maneuver around and kill people is really, really, what's the word I'm looking for? Intriguingly different. It also proves that Tom Cruise still has star potential within him, and he's not gone from Hollywood just yet. He still has the power within him to make hits. I'm not going to go out of my way to recommend it to everybody, because I don't think it's the greatest movie that's come out this year like a lot of others think, but I would recommend it just as a fun movie to watch if you're looking for something different. It's definitely a fun movie that... Shut up, Han Solo. It's definitely a movie that will make you raise your eyebrows in a very good way by the end of its title run. And the last movie on this list for my summer recap is Snowpiercer. Now, this movie was inside the locker of Hollywood for a long time, apparently, and it got recut by Harvey Weinstein. This one stars Captain America himself, Chris Evans, and it's about this train which goes around the world, and this train is the only circulation of life on Earth because the rest of the planet is covered in snow. And Chris Evans' character is one of the lower class citizens who's in the back of the train with other actors like Jamie Bell and Octavia Spencer, and they basically have this initiative to fight back and progress and fight their way to the front of the train to find out what the hell's going on. And the movie sounds like a cool premise, and it's exactly what it is, but did it execute? Yes, it did. It's a very fun, awesome movie that has a lot to say about society, believe it or not. As weird as it may become, the movie does become obscure with certain scenes, but if you get what they're talking about within the context of the scenes, things click and it makes the movie all the more better for your experience viewing it. Chris Evans proves himself once again how he is one of the best actors in the industry, and he really shows his talent because he's so great in this movie. He's a badass like he is in Captain America, but he really shows a rougher, edgier side to him. This movie also feels like something that would be a really fantastic anime, in my opinion. For some reason, like, I'm not big on anime, but I do understand the technological logistics of anime, and I think Snowpiercer would turn out to be a good anime, even if someone wanted to adapt it after the movie came out. I think it would be cool. But the entire movie is a very, very solidly unique experience, which has to be viewed by anybody who loves movies. Some people will love it, some people will hate it, some people will just be in the middle. But it's one of those movies where after you watch it, it'll make you think about little things in life itself and in your life and in just movies in general, and you'll think, wow, that was something cool. Saying that something is cool is probably one of the most unintelligent ways to say something was a good movie. But the movie is truly cool, for lack of a better word. So yes, this was my summer recap of movies that I did not review this summer that I did see. Those 4 movies are all highly recommended. If you didn't see 22 Jump Street, which it's been seen by a majority of people, that's the one that many people have seen. But the other 3, if you have not heard of or seen them, I would recommend them all and implore you to watch them as soon as you possibly can, because all 3 of those movies, Chef, Edge of Tomorrow, and Snowpiercer, are great movies in their own right. But let me turn the table to you guys. Have you seen any movies this summer that surprised you in ways that you didn't expect to be surprised? Underrated little small movies that you thought were going to be bad that turned out to be really good? Let me know in the comments down below. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this video so you'll never miss a video from me ever again. Also check out Facebook, Twitter, and We Live Film in the info box. I'm John Maffio, aka MaffmanJones, and I'll see you guys next time. Summer's almost over. No!